Hello dear students of class 10th, welcome to geography class. I hope all of you are doing well. Students, in this video, I shall be continuing with the third chapter of geography, that is water resources. So in the previous video, I explained you that why do we need to conserve water? What is the need to conserve and manage water or water resources? Then I explained you about multi-purpose river projects, that what are multi-purpose river projects, in which I explained you about dams. These multi-purpose river projects, they are very important. Why they are very important? Because they serve multiple purposes, right? They serve multiple purposes. They not only serve one purpose or one need, they do not only fulfill one need or one purpose, rather they serve multiple purposes. Like they are not only the multi-purpose river projects, they are not only made or constructed for drinking purpose or for household consumption. Definitely they are done. That is also one of the objective of multi-purpose river projects, but beyond that they are used or they are constructed for several other purposes. For example, for irrigation, for generating electricity and several other purposes. Then I explained you about dams, that what are dams. Then I explained you about the classification of dams, that how are dams classified. On the basis of structure I explained you, and then on the basis of height I explained you. Now students, dams are referred to as multi-purpose projects. Why? So now I am going to discuss about dams, that why are dams referred to as multi-purpose projects. See, as I told you that the name multi-purpose project, the name only suggests or gives the answer of this question. Dams are not only used for single purpose, rather they are used to fulfill they are used to satisfy several purposes. Now we will see that why are dams called as multi-purpose projects and what are the needs or what are the purposes that are satisfied with the help of construction of dams. So the first reason or the first purpose is irrigation facility. So this is the first purpose, irrigation facility. So dams provide irrigation facility, they provide water for irrigation. See, population is increasing, so the demand for food grains is also increasing. So how will the demand of food grains be satisfied? How it will be fulfilled? If water will not be there, then how the food grains will grow? So in order to grow food grains, water is required and in good quantity, right? 10-20 liters are not required, means much more than that is required in order to irrigate the agricultural fields. So first of all, why dams are called as multi-purpose projects? Because they provide irrigation facility wherever there is a need for water in order to cultivate the lands. So dams are used to provide water to the irrigation so dams are used to provide water to the agricultural fields. This is the first reason. Second, generation of electricity. See, electricity is also generated with the help of water from hydrological cycles. So from reservoirs, from canals, electricity is generated. So the second reason is generation of electricity. Water is very important, right? So we need to conserve water so that we can generate electricity. Third is for supplying water for domestic and infrastructure. Cut that line. Now the third point is dams are used to supply water for domestic as well as for industrial use. See, for domestic use we need water. Without water our daily chores cannot be done in the proper way. We require water for drinking as well as to carry out the household purposes. That means for kitchen, for cleaning our house, for cleaning utensils and everything. Water is very important. Without it, it is not possible to manage our house well. See, if one day water, if electricity is not there and you are not able to fill your tanks, then what happens? Everywhere in the house chaos is there, because the things are not managed well. Without water, we cannot manage our daily routine well. So it is very important to save and conserve water for our domestic use, because it is very important. Our daily routine, our daily life is affected if there is scarcity or shortage of water even for a single day. So that is why it is important to conserve water, and water is conserved by constructing dams. Then I told you that water is also important for industrial use. See, there are so many big industries. Industrialization is going on. Industries are developing one after the other. So in industries, there are heavy and there are big plants that require water. So water is required for the industries also to manage the plants well, the industrial plants well. That is why also water is important. And in industries, electricity is also needed. So how is electricity generated? Electricity is generated with the help of water. Now next point, flood control. See, water also, construction of dam controls flood. As I told you that what is dam? Dam is a barrier. It acts as a barrier. So if dam is constructed, then the excess water that can be collected, the excess water of the flood that can be collected, that can be stored, that can be saved, and that can be used for later purpose, that can be channelized into proper directions. See, during flood, what happens? Water goes everywhere, means there is no direction, no proper direction. It goes in the houses, it goes in the on the streets, everywhere, in the agricultural fields. But with the construction of dams, this flood water can be regulated well, and it can be used for proper, and it can be used in proper ways. Like the flood water can be stored, and it can be used during the time when there is scarcity of water, or that water can be used for agriculture purpose. So dams are important to control flood. They also control flood. Then recreation. Next point is recreation. Now how dams construction of dams also help in recreation. Now how it helps in recreation? See, wherever dams are constructed, that area is well built. So generally people go, they visit that place, they see that area, they enjoy themselves along with their family members, with their friends, and as a result of which the economy of that place that increases. So dam also serve as a recreation purpose. Next is inland navigation. Now what is inland navigation? Inland navigation is a transport system allowing ships to use inland waterways. As you can see in this picture, this is the picture of inland waterways. So this water can be used as a so here ships can be used to move ships. So at this place, please cut this line. So students, water allows ship for transportation purpose. So it acts as it is basically a transport system where ships are allowed to use the inland waterways. Then for fish breeding, dams are important. So there are several purposes. For which dams are used, and that is why dams are called as multi-purpose river projects. So I hope you understood that why dams are called as multi-purpose river projects. Now students, there is a statement by Jawaharlal Nehru, and the statement is, dams are being proclaimed to be temples of modern India. This is a very important statement by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, that dams are being proclaimed to be temples of modern India. Now, why did Jawaharlal Nehru say this statement that dams are being proclaimed to be the temples of modern India? See, with the construction of dams, agriculture and village economy are developing. Now, how village economy and agriculture is developing with the help of dams? See, if dams will be there, that means water will be there. If water will be there, then farmers will be benefited from it. They will get benefit from it. Why they will get benefit from it? Because they can use the water from dam for their agricultural fields. So they will be benefited. So that means the farmers will become prosperous, they will develop, and as a result of which the village economy will also develop. Because most of the farmers in India, they live in the villages, they live in the rural areas. So with the construction of dams, agriculture and village economy will develop. So this was about the rural sector, rural area. Now let me come to the urban area also. See, rapid industrialization and growth of urban economy will be there with the construction of dams. Now, rapid industrialization. If dams will be there, then electricity will be generated, electricity will be produced, and that electricity can be used in industries. Industries will be able to operate, big plants that will be able to operate. That means the urban economy will also grow. So not only the rural economy, but the urban economy will also grow with the construction of dams. So both the economies will be benefited with the construction of dams. That is why Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru said that dams are being proclaimed to be temples of modern India. So I hope that till here all the concepts are clear to everybody. So students, I have explained you that dams are very useful and they are very important, but you must have read in newspapers or you must have seen in television regarding opposition of dams and multi-purpose projects by several people. See, dams are very helpful, they are very useful. Then why opposition is done? Why some people are against the construction of dams or multi-purpose projects? Why opposition is there? Dams or multi-purpose projects, they have several advantages, but at the same time they are opposed by some people. That means that they must be having some disadvantages also, or dams must be having some drawbacks also, right? See, every coin has two faces. So if there are advantages, that means disadvantages will also be there. So I have explained you about the advantages, that why they are so useful, why they are so important. Now I am going to explain you the drawbacks or the disadvantages of construction of dams. See, this construction of dams are opposed by some people, like basically the tribal people, the tribal community or the local residents where these projects are built. So the people of that place, they generally oppose the construction of several multi-purpose projects. So I am going to explain you about the drawbacks or disadvantages of multi-purpose projects or disadvantages of dams. So this topic I am going to explain you with the help of two dimensions or two aspects. First is the geographical aspect and second is the social aspect. So first let me come to the geographical aspect or the geographical reasons why dams are opposed or why there are people who are against the construction of multi-purpose projects like dams. So let me come to the first reason. The first reason is regulating and damming of rivers affect their natural flow, causing poor sediment flow and excessive sedimentation at the bottom of the reservoir. See, regulating and damming of rivers, they affect their natural flow. That means, of course, the natural flow is affected. Dams or other multi-purpose river projects, they create an artificial flow. They channelize the water, right, accordingly. according as per the usage of water. So it is not the natural flow, it is basically the artificial flow, and which causes poor sediment flow and excessive sedimentation at the bottom of the reservoir. See, if I talk about the rain, about the rainy season, then what happens in the rainy season? That rainy season, or if I talk about the flood, what happens? That during flood or during heavy or excessive rain, the top soil is washed away with the rain or with the flow of water, and that top soil flows in any direction, and that top soil reaches some other agricultural field, but that topsoil, that is the fertile land, when the fertile land is washed away and it goes with the flow of water, and whenever it reaches any other agriculture field, it benefits that area. But when dams are constructed, then the excessive sediments, they remain at the bottom of reservoir. They are not able to pass with the flow of water. So the fine particles or the fertile soil, that is not able to pass, and they settle at the bottom of reservoir. They are not able to move, they are not able to pass with the flow of water to some other agricultural field, and this results in rockier stream beds and poorer habitats for the river aquatic life, and with this the aquatic life is affected. Yes, the aquatic, that means the fishes, the aquatic plants, the aquatic animals, they are affected by this, because the stream beds gets rockier, rocks are there, the fine particles, the fertile land is not there, the fertile land settles at the bottom of the reservoir, and only the rockier parts flows. So this affects the aquatic life, and because of this, or this makes the aquatic fauna to migrate, especially for spawning. The aquatic fauna or the fishes, they migrate to some other place, because they are not able to live in that place. The stream is very rocky, so they are not able to spawn, that means they are not able to reproduce. So that is why they have to migrate to some other place. Also students, the reservoirs that are created on the flood plains or the land area, they have also submerged the existing vegetation. See, suppose in a particular place a reservoir is made. Okay, how will the reservoir be made? The vegetation of that area or the vegetation of that place has to be cleared. So it will definitely affect the natural vegetation of that area, the trees, the plants, that have to be cleared. So this is one point. And secondly, if they are grown in that place, they will be submerged in the reservoir, or they will be submerged in the water. So this way the natural vegetation will be affected with the construction of dams or with the construction of reservoir. Also students, sometimes it is really unsuccessful in controlling the floods at the time of rainfall. So dams or reservoirs, they are unsuccessful in controlling flood, because the flow of water is very high. So as the flow of water is very high, the dams are not able to control the flow of water, since it is very high. So it causes a heavy damage to the people of that area, and also it sometimes breaks the reservoir or breaks the dam. The flow is that high. So these are the disadvantages of, or I would say the drawbacks, the geographical drawbacks of dams. And that is why these drawbacks, they have also led to several movements like Narmada. No, please cut this line. So students, since it is unsuccessful in controlling the floods, it also causes destruction of property, it causes soil erosion and land degradation, and also causes waterborne disease, and sometimes also induces earthquake. So these are the geographical drawbacks of construction of dams. So I hope that till here all the topics, all the points are clear to everybody. In the next video, I will be explaining you the social impact or the social drawbacks of construction of dams. So students, thank you so much. I'll meet you in the next video with the other part of this topic. Till then, stay safe and thank you.